My name is Mel Mel, and I'm a fangirl. A fangirl to me means that you can be yourself. You can be comfortable being yourself and expressing yourself through things that make you happy, like your fandoms. And I think that's just an amazing thing, is to be a fangirl, because you don't have to be afraid of being who you are. And I think that's really special. Fandom that I'm most passionate about is The Legend of Zelda. I actually grew up playing Zelda games. My dad, when I was like 4 years old, he had the NES, and we would play video games together. Not only Zelda, but Super Mario Brothers and stuff like that. And but the most memorable game, I would say, was The Legend of Zelda. By the time I was old enough to not be afraid to play video games, Ocarina of Time was out. And me and my dad would just play video games together. And everything about the game was just magical, from the story to the music. It's the reason why I play Ocarina today. I came from a musical family too, so not only did my dad show me how to play video games and play music, but The Legend of Zelda was always an inspiration, to me as a gamer and a musician. The thing about Zelda that makes me so passionate about it is they just keep coming out with just amazing games. Me and my dad always play together. We're actually waiting for Breath of the Wild 2. And it was just a really treasured time in my life that I got to share with my dad. So that's what makes it special for me, to be honest. And just the fact that they just come out with amazing games, with amazing storylines and amazing music, and it just touches you in a way that it's just magical. So there are other fandoms that I feel that way for. There were other games that me and my dad played together, like Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts. So I feel similarly with those, but it's mostly Zelda. There are other fandoms that I like obviously I love Disney. I'm a totally Disney girl. When I go to Disneyland, I'll try to Disney bound if I can, because I love it. Also, growing up, I was into anything dinosaur, anything like Jurassic Park, we're back, Land Before Time. Even Godzilla, he's a kaiju, but he's close enough to a dinosaur that I'm like, I am team Godzilla. So anything having to do with dinosaur, I loved. To be honest, when I was a kid, I was kind of a loner. I didn't have any friends. I pretty much just sat in a corner with a dinosaur encyclopedia, and I thought a foot was a footstep. So I'd count my steps and I'd be like, a T-Rex is this big. Is this feet big? And that's why I started to love dinosaurs. I wanted everything dinosaur, and now that has bounced into my love of any fandom that has to do with dinosaurs. So there's Jurassic Park, there's Godzilla, and there's just anything. I feel like geek culture has become more mainstream, and it has made it more acceptable for people to be geeks and show off their geek fandom. I feel like movies like the MCU, with that, who wouldn't want to be a geek? Who doesn't like geek things these days? Everybody likes Spider-Man these days and superheroes, and honestly, now that it's more mainstream, it's a lot more accepted. So there was an instance where I may have, hid my fandomness. Because growing up, it was like, you're going to school, you probably should keep it quiet. And honestly, I didn't know how to dress, because growing up, we didn't have much geek fashion available as much as I wanted to. So I experimented with different things. I maybe went like the goth route, or the punk route, or the popular girl, preppy route, and I kind of mixed that together. But deep down, I knew I was a geek. I just didn't know how to express it until, some companies like Her Universe came out, or El Hoffer Design, and other, companies like that. And it allowed me to express myself more. So some fandom experiences that have helped shape me were definitely going to cons and just seeing people like me that are not afraid to just show off who they are. So that definitely shaped me, and just meeting people like me and just, being inspired by them. My first con, I believe, was back in 2011. It was Anime Expo. I had never gone before. Like, I used to go and pass by and see people like in costumes and stuff, and like I wanted to be part of that community, but I never went until like 2011. I wore a Zelda. No, I didn't. I was looking for a Zelda t-shirt, my very first Zelda t-shirt. And I found it, and I found an ocarina, my very first ocarina that I now play. And the con experience was really great because I was able to actually find like items that I could wear as, that are cute, that are just like oversized t-shirts, which I also love. I bought an oversized t-shirt, but I was also able to buy things like cute earrings and cute jackets and cute purses. And I literally started to go to cons a lot more just for shopping. So I love going to cons and meeting vendors and being able to support them. My coworkers are very supportive of how I express my fangirl culture. I am fortunate enough to work at a place called Hot Topic. So I have 2 jobs, and obviously one of my favorite job is Hot Topic, because we have that bond and understanding of what fandom is, and understanding and appreciation for different people's fandoms. We like to make our guests feel comfortable. I, for one, I'm on a mission to watch all the animes that we sell, just so I can have conversations about different animes and fandoms, just so our guests feel more comfortable. I'm also fortunate that I work for Hot Topic because I'm selling at cons. So I'm often seen there, like I work the Her Universe booth and like an Anime Expo, at the Hot Topic booth and LA Comic-Con. So fortunately, I have that support from my coworkers, that we have the understanding of geek fandom and love and appreciation for it. So yeah, so thank you. So social media has definitely influenced me in a very positive way. I can now feel free to express myself, seeing that other people do it too. So it's easier for me to express myself in that way, and seeing other people do it, it's like you gain inspiration from them, like, oh, how are they dressing and how are they showing off their fandom? And then you kind of like just gain that admiration for them, and then you kind of like try to make things your own. And social media has also influenced me, because growing up, I had mostly guy friends. There were not a lot of girl gamers that I can talk to, or girls that were into the same things as I was, that is into video game music like other guys. And now with social media, I see so many awesome geek girls, like such as yourselves, that I can actually meet in person, that I can or even just talk to on social media, and hope to meet them one day or run into them in cons. And it's also really great to meet people that I meet on social media. It's also really great to have that support for people that comment on my pictures and say, hey, I like what you're doing, keep doing it, or I really love your outfit, can you share more? And it's great just supporting other women just like that, just cheering them on and saying, hey girl, you look great, I love Zelda too, or I love this game or that fandom, that anime, keep doing what you're doing, and it's great. So other ways I've seen fangirls express themselves that I admire are through social media, through the arts, not just in fashion, which I also love, but in any form of art, through music, through dance, through cosplay. I do appreciate people who do make their own cosplay. It's really an art, and it's really something that I appreciate that other people do and other women do, and it deserves a lot of notoriety. the advent of social media brought out more geeks, and it's great just, you know, being able to meet them and see how they express it and sharing how you express your love for geekdom. On the flip side, there's always those guys with toxic masculinity that like to test you and your knowledge. So there were a couple of instances that really pissed me off. So I go into a store and I'm like, hey, I saw there was a Zelda shirt in here the other day and I really want to buy it. Do you know where it is? And he sees me and he's like, nah, no, you don't know nothing about Zelda. I'm like, actually, I don't feel like I have to prove anything, but I'm a huge, I love video games and I love Zelda and I would just really like to buy the t-shirt. But just because he said that, I walked away and I came back another day when he wasn't there and I bought the t-shirt. So that really did just piss me off. But there was another instance, it actually happened recently. I was at one of my jobs and I was actually wearing these earrings. And one guy was like, hey, I was playing Zelda in my office. And I was like, oh my gosh, Zelda, I love Zelda. I was so excited. And he goes, so is Zelda a boy or a girl? And I was like, it's Princess Zelda. And he was like, okay, I was just testing you. And I was like, why would I be wearing Zelda's earrings if I didn't know anything about Zelda? And I pulled out my phone and I have this. I'm like, I'm literally I love Zelda. And I feel like, we shouldn't really have to prove ourselves. If we say we like something, then we like something. And just because we're girls doesn't mean we don't know anything, And I'm tiny, and it's like, why you gotta pick on me? For the future, what I hope for the fangirl community is that for especially little girls growing up, that they shouldn't be afraid to just be themselves. They shouldn't be afraid to express who they are and what makes them happy. I feel like it's easier now because geekdom is just everywhere, and right now it's really cool to be a geek. So it's easier I feel like it's easier for girls growing up. Before, with me, all we had was Barbie and Disney princess stuff, which is also very cool. But don't be afraid to be into video games, no matter how many times guys try to test you or pick on you, or anyone tries to test you or pick on you. Don't let it discourage you. Just be yourself. Express what makes you happy, and trust me, you'll be happy.